I'm Janice Smith, and I will be presenting to you on hurricane preparedness. And to my professor, this is my audience that I'm presenting to. Okay. And I want to thank you for taking out time to come and hear my presentation. Are you one of those people that thinks Savannah can't be hit by a major hurricane because we're too far inland, so why the stuff and the mess about being prepared? Well, my oldest son was one of those people. And back when we evacuated for Hurricane Floyd, I was still working at Shelby County Health Department, and as a part of my job, I was considered a first responder. So I couldn't leave when everybody else left. I was one of the last people to leave. But I got in contact with my family. We had our plan together, where we should go, how we would get there, how we'll meet up, and all of those things. But my oldest son decided he didn't want to follow the plan because he didn't think it was all that important. So by the time I got off from work, as you can imagine, I-16 was bumper to bumper. So I got ready to leave, but because I traveled back and forth the back roads of Georgia going to Ocilla where I used to live, I knew how to go the back way. So I took back roads and advised my son to do the same thing. Well, he decided he was going to get on 16 because it was quicker. Make a long story short, in about 5 hours, I was in Macon, Georgia, safe and sound, even after stopping off in Ocilla and dropping my son off at his father's house. My oldest son, on the other hand, was stuck on I-16 for 23 hours in dead stop traffic. No food, no water, so you can imagine by the time he got to Atlanta, he was looking for a bathroom. So that's why all the fuss, and we're going to talk about being prepared today. The first thing you have to do, you must have a plan. With everything, you must have a plan. You don't wait until hurricane season, you do it in advance. You get your family together, you talk about what you need to do, how you're going to do it, what you need, and you write those things down, and you put the plan where every family member will know where it is, whose responsibility to do this, and who's got to get that. Make sure your plan is complete. And then after you get your plan together, we wait. Then, if we're unfortunate enough to have a hurricane, we're always given a hurricane warning, a watch first. When the watch comes and they announce it on the television that we're under hurricane watch, that is the time that you recheck your plan. Make sure you have everything in place, fill your card with gas, get money out of the ATM, all of those things so you can be prepared in case we have to go further. If we get a warning, which means that it is likely that a hurricane will hit us, that's when you put your plan in action. You gather up the family, those who are going together. If you're not separated, call and make arrangements to where you're going to go, who you're going to meet, and how you're going to meet. And you put your plan in action. There are a list of things that you will need to take with you. And there are some wonderful websites that you can go to. One of them is www.gema.gov, which is the Georgia Emergency Management Agency. And they have a list, a checklist that you can use. And also the National Hurricane Center through NOAA, they have a website that you can do. There's a checklist. There are things that you do to get prepared, how you go about getting your yards ready if you have a house, putting things away so that it won't be damaging to your property. If you decide to stay, there are things that you need in your home. You need so much water for each family member. You need clothing. You need medicine. You need prescriptions, because you don't know if you're going to have power during a hurricane, so you have to be prepared. And if you decide to evacuate, do it early. Don't wait till the last minute, because if you do, then you get stuck in traffic. And like my son, you'll get really stuck in traffic. So you have to have all these things, not only to leave, because you have to bring those things back with you, because when you come back, you don't know whether or not you're going to have electricity. You don't know whether your house is going to be livable. All of those things you have to take into consideration. We don't want to be like the people in Louisiana. They were not prepared for Hurricane Katrina. And it was a matter of life and death. We must be prepared. And it's before, during, and after the hurricane that we must be prepared. I want to encourage you to make sure that you get with your families, do a list, get your plan together, put it where everybody will know where it is, so that you will be prepared in case we have to go to a hurricane. Now I have a couple of things I would like to show you. I printed them off. This is a hurricane disaster supply kit. It will tell you the things that you need to have on your person in case of a hurricane. There's a list, and it's a simple list, but it's easy to know what you need in case you need to leave. This is also from another website called GeorgiaReady.gov. They're excellent websites. I encourage you to go on them. Be safe this hurricane season, and I thank you very much.